This is a new Garmin Zumo XT 5.5-inch GPS and a Bengal cat. This is what it actually looks like. Nice and thin. Get out the sink. And we're going to fit it to the bike. Now this costs $499 from the Garmin website. Now this costs $499 from the Garmin website, or you can get it elsewhere. I got mine at Cycle Gear for $399. Revzilla was $499 at the time of looking. I use a Beeline for navigation, and really that's all you actually need. But if you actually want to look at a map, it's always nice to have a dedicated GPS. And two nice things about this are that it is now Wi-Fi, so you can actually airdrop GPX files to it and open them up and run them. You can do wireless updates from your home Wi-Fi, so when you get home, turn the bike off, it will automatically look for updates and update everything, and it comes with free lifetime maps. And it's also Bluetooth, of course, so you can pair your headset to it if you want voice commands and all that good stuff, or you can pair your phone to it. So if your phone is paired to your intercom and your phone is paired to the GPS, you'll be able to control things like your music and telephone through the GPX and still receive direction voice commands through your headset, as well as taking calls, reading text messages and playing music. So currently on my bike I have a quad lock anti-vibration mount, which I'm going to relocate to the handlebars so that I can fit the replacement mount to fit the Zumo. That's on a bracket made by Iconic in the UK. And the thing with Iconic is they also make a bracket connector here that fits the quad lock on. They actually make a connector that fits the Zumo. So you literally unbolt that and put the new bracket in, and then you can bolt the Zumo onto it. Now currently I have my phone powered through the 12-volt socket down here, and I have the ends of the USB and the connector sealed off with some moldable glue made by Sucru. But what we need to do is take out the 3 bolts that are in here, and then this plastic panel will pop off, and underneath that we'll see the wiring for the GPS, which wires directly into the live system. So to remove the side panel, you need a H4 star drive, and preferably something like this T-bar extension, which will make your life easier getting the bolts out, and do be careful, of course, not to drop them. Okay, so I pulled out my 12-volt plug, and I've undone the 3 bolts and removed this housing so it's nice and loose. And in here, the camera will pick it up, you'll see there's a lead that says nav, and that is just tied off, and that is just ready for you to plug in your nav to the live wiring system, so it will come on and turn off with ignition. So I need to get that lead out. So before I take it out, here's another view from this side, and it's just got this little rubber connector on it holding the cable. One end of the cable you're going to splice into to crimp or solder against the wires of your GPS, and the other is straight into the bike. It's got this little push connector, this little white connector here. So once I've removed this rubber boot, I'll be able to just gently prise the connectors apart, and then we'll have this part of the lead off the bike. Okay, as you can see, the connector is now off, and this is what it looks like. What you're looking for really when you do this is it's a tiny little point just at the tip of my thumb, and you push that down inwards in the center there. Use a little flathead screwdriver or something like that, and you just gently prise it off. So once you press down that button, there you go, it stands a bit more proud there. You press it downwards, and this end bit just slides off. You're left with that part of the connector on the bike, and this part off, with the 2 leads for your knapsack within that, and they've kind of really packed it heavily in kind of like an epoxy resin or something, and really got to kind of cut this end off, splice into it very gently so you don't ruin the wires, because they don't give you that much cable to play with, and then crimp or solder to the GPS wires. I don't have a solder, so I'm going to crimp mine, and I'll show you how I do that now. Okay, so I've not mounted it up here just yet. I want to make sure that it works before I start putting everything into place and assuming everything's perfect. But I believe this is the top part of the connector, the bit that connects inwards. When you push it that way, it'll slot into place. And based on that, the top cable is the live. So where I've got the red heat shrink wrap on, that's the live, and the black is obviously the neutral. Now Garmin nice and easily do red and black here, and on the other side, that white connector, Ducati do red and black as well, but on this side it's just two black cables, which can be a bit confusing. Make sure you get it right, and hopefully I have. I put some shrink wrap on. If this works, I will put some Sucru here to waterproof it, or some electrical tape, probably Sucru. But let's see, moment of truth. Let's turn the bike on, powers up, GPS has come on. That's what we like to see. But you can see in the top right hand side there, it is under power, it is charging. It's charging from the battery. So that is awesome to come on all by itself. Now if I turn off the ignition, what we'll see here on the GPS is, yeah, external power has been lost. Device will check for updates and turn off. So it's already checking on my Wi-Fi for updates, free wireless, free map updates for life. So really nice, you get home, checks for updates, turns itself off. Job's a good one. Just got to tidy the cables now, fit them out up there, and we should be good to go. And there we have it, with the cover nicely back in situ, and the Zumo clearly not fouling the clocks and in a nice line of sight. Turn the bike on. Oh yeah. We are good to go. So easy job, worthwhile doing it yourself if you can, save yourself a bit of money. Just need a little bit of patience in terms of splicing the supplied wires that came with it and crimping them up or soldering them with some heat wrap, but otherwise pretty easy. And when you power off, it will actually power down the GPS. External power has been lost, device will check for updates and turn off. So it's checking for updates, connected to my home Wi-Fi, and now it will turn itself off. Job's a good one. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little DIY video. Well worthwhile doing it yourself if you've got a Multistrada or any other bike. You can see how easy it is. As long as you've got room for the cabling and you take the time, you'll have a good result and won't have to pay a large service bill. Anyway, ride often, ride careful, ride on. Hey you, if you want to become one of the Ride On people, don't forget to subscribe. Ride often, ride carefully, ride on.